What's Joe Biden planning right now for disgraced ATF nominee David Chipman? In an event more anticipated than the next installment of the Matrix series, Biden's White House withdrew the nomination of David Chipman to be director of the Bureau of Alcohol, Tobacco, Firearms, and Explosives. But, just like when he finished watching the Matrix trilogy, withdrawing Chipman left Biden wanting more. That's why his administration isn't done with Chipman and wants to bring him back from his political death. There just isn't the work available for a Gary Busey lookalike that there used to be. So David Chipman needs to keep using gun control to make himself a very wealthy man. Here's what I mean when I say that Biden isn't done with him. Unfortunately, reports indicate that the White House officials are trying to find another role in the administration for Chipman. What the Biden administration wants to do with Chipman is similar to what it does with gun laws. In both cases, gun laws and Chipman, they couldn't get their preferred outcome passed through Congress, the legislative branch. Instead, they chose to act illegitimately and push their agenda through the White House, the executive branch. Chipman's disgust for the Second Amendment makes him uniquely unqualified to direct the ATF or any other public office. But radical anti-gun activists have already begun lobbying the White House to bypass Congress to create a cabinet-level office on so-called gun violence. What might that look like? Well, sometimes an administration will create a position called a czar. A czar for climate energy, a czar for the economy, a czar for jobs. It's mostly a coordinating function that can be used to push a president's agenda, and frankly, it can go by a lot of different names. The idea is to give one person the responsibility for thinking of, executing, and implementing a policy absent a law being passed by Congress. I won't go into the reasons why that's a terrible idea, that's for another video. But using these sorts of czars is absolutely a way to ignore your representatives in Congress. In the past, the White House said Biden is his own gun policy expert, but that was before the Chipman nomination tanked. The Biden administration should cease all efforts to find another role for this anti-constitutional activist who failed to earn the support of the United States Senate. I mean, we've been hearing for months about the threat to democracy that many of you pose to the people in Washington. But what's a bigger threat to democracy than ignoring Congress? What could be more undemocratic than ignoring the will of the Senate and creating a special role for Chipman? If senators really oppose the nomination of David Chipman to head the ATF, they should also actively oppose his appointment to a non-Senate confirmed office. So call your senators and representatives and let them know that David Chipman should not hold any public office, since he didn't even have the votes in the Senate. But let's step back for a second. This is a win for all Americans, including GOA members who voiced their opposition to Biden's indefensible ATF nominee. David Chipman would have sailed through the Senate's Democrat majority were it not for the immense vocal opposition from grassroots gun owners like you. The Biden administration bragged that Chipman would have been an exemplary director of the ATF.
Obviously, he has exemplary credentials. He's someone the president has a great deal of respect for, and we're in active discussions with him about what role might be of interest to him in the federal government.
And would have redoubled its efforts to crack down on the Second Amendment community. But now that Chipman's nomination has been pulled, his fate is up in the air. A majority of the Senate, including Republicans and Democrats, don't believe Chipman is fit to hold office. So let's end David Chipman's political career and send him back to his old job selling snake oil to police stations. Tell your senators and representatives to fight back if Joe Biden gives David Chipman any position of power. That's it from me today, guys. Be sure to check out the rest of our Minuteman Moment videos right here on YouTube and over on the Warrior Poet Society Network.